Welcome back to the channel. Today's story explores the themes of prejudice, fairness, and secrets. It's about a quiet boy named Noah, who becomes the target of his teacher's unfair treatment. At first, Noah blends into the background, but Mrs. Shelton, known for being strict and biased, immediately singles him out, making his first day at school miserable. As the story unfolds, Noah becomes the constant focus of her harshness. Yet there's something Mrs. Shelton doesn't know. Noah isn't just any student. He's the son of the school's principal. This secret sets the stage for a twist that will change everything, turning Mrs. Shelton's world upside down. Stick around to find out how the truth is revealed and the powerful lesson that follows. Welcome to Riverwood Elementary, a large, modern school standing tall in the heart of Pinewood City. The school's sleek, towering building is surrounded by tall trees and the bustling energy of excited students as they hurry into classrooms. The streets outside are lined with cars, and parents wave goodbye as the kids rush in to start a new day. Inside, things aren't as peaceful, especially for one student, Noah. He's the new kid, a quiet boy who just moved to the city with his family. He tries to stay unnoticed, sitting at the back of the class, blending in with the background. But there's one person who doesn't let him stay quiet: Mrs. Shelton. She's one of the strictest teachers at Riverwood, known for her harsh methods and unfair treatment, especially towards certain students. And then there's Mr. Kai, Noah's father, the principal of the school. He's proud of his son, but doesn't want Noah to receive any special treatment, so their connection remains a secret. For now. It was Noah's first day at Riverwood Elementary, and he was nervous. He'd just moved to Pinewood City with his family, and everything felt new and overwhelming. As he sat at the back of the classroom, trying to blend in, his heart raced. He didn't want to draw attention to himself, especially not from Mrs. Shelton, the strictest teacher at the school. But it didn't take long for her to notice him. "Hey you, the new kid in the back," she snapped, her voice cutting through the room. Noah slowly got up, his face turning red with embarrassment as he introduced himself in a quiet voice. But Mrs. Shelton wasn't satisfied. She continued to single him out, accusing him of not raising his hand quickly enough, pointing out his messy handwriting, and even calling him out in front of the class for the smallest mistakes. Some of the other students chuckled, while others stayed silent, sensing the tension in the room. Noah tried his best to stay calm, keeping his emotions in check, but inside, he felt humiliated. He didn't understand why she was so mean, but he didn't want to make things worse. What Noah didn't know was that his father, Mr. Kai, was the principal of Riverwood Elementary. The Kai family had decided to keep this a secret so that Noah could experience school just like any other student, without receiving any special treatment. But despite his quiet demeanor, Noah wasn't just a passive observer. He was strong. Every afternoon, after the school bell rang, Noah would visit his dad's office and share how his day went. He'd mention how Mrs. Shelton was always picking on him, treating him differently from the other kids. Noah didn't know that Mr. Kai had already noticed the tension and unfair treatment, but he remained calm and never made a scene. Listening intently, Mr. Kai could see how much his son was struggling. He put a reassuring hand on Noah's shoulder and said, "Hang in there, son. She doesn't know who you are yet, but she'll find out soon enough." His father's quiet strength gave Noah the courage to endure, knowing that the truth would eventually come to light. As the days passed, Mrs. Shelton's cruelty toward Noah only grew worse. She singled him out for every little mistake, making him feel more and more isolated. But today, something was different. Mrs. Shelton seemed even angrier than usual. She glanced at Noah's desk, and without any reason, accused him of not finishing his homework, something that wasn't true. "This is what happens when you don't try hard enough," she snapped, pointing at him in front of the whole class. Her words stung, and for the first time, Noah felt like he couldn't take it anymore. The classroom fell silent, and all eyes were on him. But just as the tension reached its peak, the door suddenly swung open. Mr. Kai, Noah's father, stepped into the room. The students sat up straight in surprise, and Mrs. Shelton froze in her tracks. Calmly but firmly, Mr. Kai said, "Mrs. Shelton, could I speak with you in my office, please?" The moment had arrived, and Mrs. Shelton had no idea what was coming next. In the principal's office, the air was thick with tension. Mrs. Shelton stood there, confused and on edge, as Mr. Kai calmly gestured for her to sit. "Mrs. Shelton," he began, his voice steady but firm, "I'm sure you didn't know, but Noah is my son." Mrs. Shelton's eyes widened in disbelief. She hadn't connected the dots, and now the truth hit her like a ton of bricks. She had been treating the principal's own child with cruelty and prejudice without even knowing it. A deep sense of shame washed over her as she realized the depth of her mistake. Mr. Kai's disappointment was palpable as he continued, "No student should ever be treated the way you've treated Noah, or any other student for that matter. This school is supposed to be a place of fairness and respect. I expect better from my staff." His words were measured but stern, and Mrs. Shelton could only nod, speechless. It was clear she'd learned a hard lesson, one she wouldn't soon forget. The next day, when Noah walked into the classroom, he noticed something was different. Mrs. Shelton was gone. A new teacher stood at the front, greeting the class with a warm smile. Noah's heart lifted, and for the first time in weeks, he felt at ease. This new teacher treated him and the other students with kindness and respect, making him feel like he could finally breathe again. As the day went on, Noah couldn't help but reflect on what had happened. The lesson was clear. Treating others poorly never goes unnoticed. No matter how hard you try to hide it, the truth always comes out. And in the end, it always catches up with you. Mrs. Shelton had learned that lesson the hard way. For Noah, it was a new beginning, one where he could finally feel safe and respected at school. The moral of this story is simple yet powerful. Fairness, kindness, and the importance of never judging others based on assumptions. Everyone deserves respect, no matter their background or appearance, and treating others with cruelty only harms ourselves in the end. We can all learn from Noah's journey and ask ourselves how we treat the people around us, whether we're making assumptions or showing kindness. Let's all strive to create a positive and supportive environment, just like the new teacher did for Noah. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring tales. And make sure to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.